What are some guy secrets girls don't know about? My dad served in the Pacific during WW2. A kid from the Bronx. He had never been out of the Bronx in his entire life. Then he got sent to New Guinea. Decades later, as he lay dying in the hospital bed, he told us, as his young friends were being slaughtered by other young men, just before they died, they always cried for their mothers, never for their fathers, always for their mothers. He said, they were just kids being slaughtered by other kids. And then they died, in his arms. Their last words were always, where is my mother? Where is my mother? Where is my mother? Never for their fathers. That affected him for his entire life. And Dad lived a long time. He was the lucky one. Sex isn't all we want in a relationship. I'd rather be with someone who understands me, but only does it once in a while than someone who I have sex with every day, but don't connect with emotionally and mentally. Some of us are into things like cooking, cleaning, makeup, fashion, etc. It doesn't necessarily mean we are gay. Please don't tell us to man up. A lot of us were constantly told that growing up, whenever we tried to express ourselves, so you saying it will often bring up bad memories. Men can be abused. Men can be raped. Men also tend to be more suicidal because society tells us we are weak if we try to discuss these things. No, we don't enjoy being raped by a hot girl, and we often don't talk about it because people will often straight up tell us we are lying about it if we do. Sometimes we don't talk to people cause we don't want to intimidate them. I might see a girl with a cool shirt on, but I don't want to make her think I'm coming on to her or something. Rather than freak her out that a 6'6" guy thinks she looks good today, I just leave her alone. Especially if we are on an elevator or something where she can't leave, if she actually is uncomfortable. If a guy told me that on my way out of the elevator and explained why he didn't say it while we were still in, I definitely think that's adorable. May even want to see him again. You have no idea how much women appreciate it when men understand how complicated and unsafe the world feels for women a lot of the time. If you compliment my appearance, I will probably remember forever. I still remember when a girl in college told me I looked nice with my beard when I first grew it out. I've had a beard ever since. I'm a woman. In college I complimented this random guy in line for coffee that he smelled really nice. It wasn't a pickup line or anything, I just enjoyed complimenting people. About a year later we ended up having a class together and I didn't recognize him at all. He came up to me and thanked me again for the compliment I gave him a year ago and said he hasn't forgotten about how nice that was for a stranger to be so upfront and to compliment him. We'll be married 7 years in June. After a shower, we have no problem drying our balls and face with the same towel. Most of the time we try to dry the face first, then the sack. But sometimes we have to go back to the face. We just hope we use an uncontaminated part of the towel. Edit, uncontaminated. My balls are clean after a shower. Just, you know. Wiping the balls then wiping my face is just kind of, yay. And then by the next day the towel forgets and it resets, truly one of nature's miracles. When we want to be alone, it's not that we don't want to be around you, it's that we don't want to be around anyone for a bit. I get this one way too well. I go through bouts where I just don't want to talk to anyone regardless of how close we are. Men want to be wanted and desired too. I can count the number of times a woman has come out and either asked me out or told me she was attracted to me on one hand. And from my understanding, that is a high number. We don't miss hints because we are dense or stupid. We miss them because we have learned the hard way that sometimes it's just a friendly compliment or some such. That embarrassment sticks with you. If you've ever looked at a dude and oh wow he's attractive / I'd like to go out with him, go talk to him. Men love confident women, and even if he doesn't reciprocate you will make his day, or maybe even his year. We really do think your hair is good. It looked good before and after you got a haircut. It looked good curly and it looked good straight. It looked good when you woke up and when you made it. As long as it's shaped like the hair we gave girls on stick figures when we were 5 years old, we think it looks good. I wish more girls understood that. My hair is a mess, I know it is, and I think that's fucking adorable. PLS, just be cute. Seriously, I don't think girls really know how good they look with messy hair. We don't get the hint. Saying I almost broke my neck in the driveway is not the same as asking us to shovel it. In my mind I'm thinking thanks for the heads up, I'll be careful. Subtle hints do not work. Obvious hints do not work. Anything short of spelling it out ABC style at us will not work. When I try to pick up on hints I get it wrong almost every time. I'm a girl and I've found out through the years that when guys say something, don't think too much into it, like what's the hidden meaning? Don't overthink it. Guys normally say stuff that should be taken at face value. We had a friend in college who would always try to figure out what a guy meant. I mean this was constant. Every time she started to try and figure out what the subtle meaning was, we would say Chrissy, the sky is blue. Nothing more. The mental struggle we have to go through to not scratch around our groin in a public setting. It'll take 100% of my willpower to not do it. The itching can drive me insane, yet the euphoria from actually scratching it is so good. I often imagine this must be what it's like scratching a dog's ears. There is a reason why men's pants have deep pockets that are deep enough to reach balls Vegas. We desperately want you to toss us things instead of just handing them to us. When I asked my husband for confirmation on this, he said, yay, it's fun to catch things lol, same. I just asked him, and he replied the same exact sentence. As a favor, I worked on a girl's car one time and got pretty dirty. Afterwards, she asked me if I wanted to come inside and take a shower. I told her no, because I hadn't brought any clean clothes to put on after the shower. She just kinda giggled. Yeah, us guys aren't exactly too bright when it comes to reading between the lines. How many nights have you laid awake replaying this what if in your mind? I've lost count. We can't move our penis without closing our butthole. Just because we're in the shower for an abnormally long time doesn't mean we're jerking off. Guys like to have long hot showers too, you know. I'm not staring at you. I'm zoned out thinking about how I'd start a brewery in medieval England whilst my eyes just happen to be facing your direction. That awkward moment when you zone back in and you are staring at someone you don't know that wasn't in front of you a moment ago and they are looking back at you. Guys also like to be walked up to and asked out. My current girlfriend, soon to be fiancé, asked me out. We worked at the same company and she just came up to me and said, hey Justy Burger, I think you and I should go get dinner tonight. I asked her who else was going and she said I think it'd be nice if it was just you and me. So yay, that was pretty cool. If you have a son, don't rush into his room and demand that he get up immediately to do chores or some shit. He definitely has morning wood and would appreciate not needing to hide a boner from his mom. Give him like 5 minutes. I was sick when I was in my early teens, maybe, and my neighbor and a couple other girls that I was friends with in the area stopped by to see how I was because I had been down and out for a few days. I'm in my room with all the curtains drawn feeling like I'm dying and under like 3 thick blankets. My mom thinks, let's let them in and they can see for themselves. She lets them into my room and tries to tell me to get up, that I have company. When I just grunt dismissively, she grabs the covers and rips them back so I can't try to roll over and bury myself in them. Thankfully I had a shirt and pajamas bottoms on, but I can never understand her thought process after all these years as to why she thought that was a good idea. Guys like being touched. I like it when a lady keeps her hand on my thigh when we driving, or rubbing my head when we are laying on the couch. Pretty much just any contact. My wife is the opposite and it sucks sometimes. Sometimes while riding around in the car with my wife, she will reach over and scratch the back of my head. It might not mean much to her, but man, does it mean the world to me. I love that shit. I think it's not often addressed that guys, just like girls, also deal with their fair share of insecurities, body dysmorphia, and pressures from society to act and look a certain way. It's just that openly talking about it and dealing with those emotions is more shameful and less accepted. I tried to talk to one of my closest friends about my struggles with eating disorders and she pulled the women have it worse card. That was the day I realized Reddit is the best emotional support in my life, which made me want to die. We get boner all the time. And no, most of them are not sexual boner, we just get them. Randomly waking up at night. With boner of course. Waiting at waiting room for your doctor's appointment. Boom boner. Middle of a serious office meeting. Boner out of nowhere. It's not always sexual. And when we get in the kinky mood, can't think of anything else. Before calming the horse. Man, I had a 2-hour erection while having fucking food poisoning. We are scared to break down. Sometimes when it feels like the whole world is on your shoulders, it's scarier to think what would happen if you asked for help and no one knew what to do, rather than asking for help at all. I miss being a kid. Too fucking real. If we randomly surprise you with flowers or some gift for no reason, it doesn't mean there is an ulterior motive, or that we are trying to get forgiveness for something. So when you make a big deal and try to roast us with questioning, or say things like, wow, why can't you be more like this more often? All you are doing is sending the signal to the man's brain, do not do the thing again. That brings her suspicion on you. Besides, we know if it becomes expected, then it becomes a chore and we are treated as some sort of failure when we don't do it.